This is one of those games I like to categorize the one that started it all but didn't. It's one of these prequel games which are actually sequels. It's a little strange that they do it in video games so often. Anyway, this is Panzer Dragoon 2 Zwei for the Sega Saturn. This game I find very interesting. The fact that like Sega has disregarded it. Well, like most of the Panzer games. I mean, when they made the fourth game, Panzer Dragoon Orta, for the Xbox, they included the original Panzer game in there as a bonus, right? But like legend has it that Sega has lost all the code, like the original coding for all their Panzer Dragoon games, except for the one PC game, which is what the Xbox game Orta was a port, like had, like the Panzer Dragoon game that it came with as a bonus. That was a port. That was the PC port, not the original Saturn game. Anyway, this is one of my personal favorite games for the Saturn. Not my number one favorite, but I like this one better than the first Panzer Dragoon. I'm going to play a little bit of it. I'm going to even let the story roll out, because I like this game. And damn it, you should too.
Many millennia have passed since the fall of the old age. People live in terror of the living weapon created from gene reconstruction. The weapons that humans created has cost them the power they once held. Nations at war with each other using excavated weapons from the old ages. Besides the warring nations, the people had their own lives to worry about day by day. It all began in a small village on the frontier.
Ominous shit. These cutscenes haven't really aged all too well, I'll be kind of honest. Sega Saturn didn't have the strongest 3D processor around. And it excelled in 2D engine, like it could render 2D sprites better than anybody, almost by today's standards as well. I mean, a lot of 2D programs run off like emulations that the Saturn was built from. Its Motorola processors and its cores, 6 of them. Amazing. So as a result, like a lot of these 3D games, like these cutscenes, you know, they're really poorly rendered, but you know, it's alright. They make up for it with this interesting art style. Pretty. This is the story. This dude has got to execute his pet dragon because it's sort of like an omen that it has wings. And it's an interesting note that this dragon that you're about to raise becomes the main dragon in Panzer Dragoon 1. This is him as a baby, known as Solo Wing. The chronological order that the Panzer games go in is 2, 1, Sagas, and then Orta. That's the order they go in. Later down the road, I'll probably put up like a video on Sagas and show you guys what that game's all about. Pretty rare game. Damn rare. Which also sets this one unique from the other Panzer games is that you gotta raise this thing from its, you know, when it's a baby. So the first couple missions, you know, you start off, your dragon's on foot, and based on your score and how well you do, will determine the growth and the form that your dragon takes. It's got several forms, like one of which is actually the original Solo Wing from Panzer Dragoon 1. Typically that's like, that form is like a hidden dragon throughout the Panzer games. Even in the Orta games, Solo Wing was like a hidden like dragon to use. Also worth mentioning that this is one of the few games made by Team Andromeda, Sega's premier development team. They would also go on to make they would eventually be disbanded after what happened with Sagas, and would become known as Smileby, and would produce the Jet Set radio games and eventually Orta, and now they're entirely gone. Alright, now I'm going to play this first. Alright, this is the core of the game. It's a rail shooter, which is, a dead genre now. I mean, they don't make games like this really anymore. Maybe in the arcades. It's more of a visual experience than any other. Alright, you gotta take out the big rolling boulder that tries to crush your ass. Alright, and it's gone. And you can have 360 degree, well, not 360 degree, you have like radius. What's behind you, your left and your right, and what's ahead. And enemies can appear from these directions, and it gets kind of hectic later. This is also the Panzer game that introduced the mechanic where you can choose paths. Alright, moving along. Fighting, shooting. Taking out whatever comes my way.